Hello, this is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Ken Hecht, who is Vice President with SoundTube Entertainment. Topic of conversation is, of course, InfoComm. It's only days away at this point. We're all getting excited, and people are naturally going to want to be checking out the SoundTube Entertainment booth at booth C8656. That's why we brought on Ken to talk about what people are going to be so excited to check out and the big news in the world of SoundTube Entertainment. Thank you so much for being here, Ken. Always good to see you.
Well, thanks, Dan. It's good to be here.
So let's get right into it. I want to learn a little bit about this new branding strategy you're going to be unveiling and the implications as far as your products go.
So over the past X number of years, we've been pushing MSC Audio. We've had 7 brands under MSC Audio, and it's been really a bit of a challenge to get some traction and brand recognition for that many brands. So what we decided to do is consolidate all the brands into 2 verticals, one for commercial and one for residential. And the vertical for commercial is going to be SoundTube. So we'll have SoundTube as the brand, and we'll roll up Soundsphere, SolidDrive, and Rockustics into SoundTube. So from now on, we'll be known as SoundTube Entertainment.
Do you want to talk about the residential roll-up?
Yeah, so the residential roll-up will be under Phase Technology or Phase Tech, and that will roll up the Phase Tech brands, or the residential brands, which will be Induction Dynamics and Darts. And also under those will be the residential versions of Rockustics and SolidDrive.
Well, thank you so much, Ken, for giving us that information. Really excited to learn about that new branding strategy. The next thing I wanted to turn to was your commitment and SoundTube Entertainment's commitment to addressing the evolving needs of flexible workspaces. All the time these days, I seem to be hearing about flexible workspaces, what their needs are. So I'm wondering, from a product point of view, from a technology point of view, what SoundTube Entertainment is doing to make sure that those evolving needs are being addressed.
Yeah, so this year at InfoComm, we're going to be showing our product offerings to help with flexible workspaces. And this is something that we've really believed in for a long time. And what we'd like to do is get everybody on the network. So all integrators, all distributed audio systems on the network, because we believe that's the way to go for the most flexibility in the workspace. And through that, you can do remote monitoring, you can do remote setup, you can do audio as a service, you can do changing routings, changing distribution, from anywhere really. You don't have to be there on site to do it. And the new products that we're introducing to help to do that is what we call our Dante System Manager. And we already have our Dante endpoint speakers, which are IP-enabled PoE speakers, which we've been doing for a long time. And by offering those things, we're given more of a complete ecosystem to the integrators and users, which will allow them all the features that you get, using IP-enabled audio.
You mentioned those Dante speakers, Ken. Do you want to talk just very briefly about the panel that we're going to be collaborating on Thursday afternoon at the show?
Sure. So we're going to be doing a panel. We're co-hosting it with Audinate, the parent company of Dante, at Piero's. And the subject matter of the panel is really flexible audio spaces, or flexible spaces in the office. And we're going to have Kay Sargent, Frank Patakala, Jesse Miller from Midtown Video, and we're going to have our interviewer, Dan Farisi, as the moderator.
Excited for it. I think it's at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday at the show. There'll be appetizers and networking before that, but I think the panel stage is at 5:30. Looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to ask Ken before we begin to wrap up the interview is just a focus that SoundTube Entertainment has and that you have on US-based fabrication, US-based manufacturing. It's kind of a differentiator these days. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So SoundTube and our other companies, we're an OEM manufacturer. We're a vertically integrated manufacturer, building a lot of products here in the U.S. And one of our focuses this year is bringing our commercial products as much as we can back to the U.S. to be BAA, TAA compliant. So at the show, we're going to have a Made in America section of the booth where we'll be showing new ceiling speakers, We'll be showing our Monument series from Rockustics. We'll be showing some live sound speakers. And I think that's about all the new Made in America stuff we'll be showing at the show.
I think that that's something you really can be proud of. I personally give you and the team kudos for that. I think it's a very worthwhile endeavor, and getting those certifications as well is certainly nice. Thank you so much, Ken, for joining me. I appreciate the update. I appreciate you giving us all the reasons people should be going to booth C8656 when they get to InfoComm and checking out everything that SoundTube Entertainment has to offer.
Well, thanks, Dan. I appreciate you, giving me the time to tell you about it.
It's a pleasure, as always, to chat with Ken Hecht, who is Vice President, SoundTube Entertainment. My name is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Please keep your eye on commercialintegrator.com and the run-up to InfoComm during the show and afterward for more exciting thought leadership content and product-related news from our industry's most respected vendors like SoundTube Entertainment. Once again, booth C8656. Looking forward to seeing you there.